What the hell, Wargaming? You brought another tier 8 from PC and nerfed it down to tier 6? What the fuck? Hello legends, I'm Cerberus and welcome to my no punctuation review of Orkan, the second tier 6 pan-European destroyer to be added to the game. First, the super too long didn't read, it's a lightning but newer, at a low tier, with less torpedoes, a pew pew gun, oh my god lulz radar, and no smoke. But Cerb, is it any good? Well, yes, it has a high skill floor when playing solo, but it is absolutely godlike in a division. And if that's all you came for, then goodbye, have a beautiful time. Otherwise, let's go! Orkan may be yet another PC T8 destroyer shoved through the square peg hole into the T6 box of toys, but like Cheshire, she actually managed to be surprisingly decent. And she can be yours, along with the coveted Commander Jesse Swersky, if you don't already have him, for the tidy sum of 12,500 balloons from the in-game store. So, what is Orkan? Orkan was in reality HMS Myrmidon, an M-class destroyer that was sold to the Polish Navy to become, well, I've said her name a few times already, so, What does that translate to in-game? Well, glad you asked. Essentially, it's a lightning with a slight nerf to her reload speed, her excellent acceleration to shift away, a torpedo launcher removed, and then the remaining one swapped out for weaker, slightly shorter range torpedoes and then de-smoked. Still with me? Well, that's the shitty stuff out the way, let's get to the good stuff. What Orkan has instead is the delicious 9km range, 15 second duration radar with 2 charges. An engine boost, hey pommies, you remember those? Speedy quick 3-run torpedoes, a decent chunk of hit points, a rather pointless but using secondary gun, all while retaining the 3x2 120mm 360 degree rotating guns of lightning. Whew, that is what Orkan is, so how does it play? Well, you could spec for concealment as best you possibly can, but since you don't have a smoke screen and you're pretty slow, I have elected for the build that's on screen now. What this gives me is maximum hit points for taking on the inevitable incoming damage, maximising my own possible damage, and giving me the means to disengage more quickly should shit go south faster than expecting. Orkan is a thoroughbred destroyer hunter suiting my playstyle of go balls deep without protection really well. Typical tactic is charge a cap, or litter on the edges, wait to get spotted, maybe wait a little bit longer for the enemy to reveal themselves, slap them half the 120mm golden balls, then once they smoke, pop that radar and then forcefully shove even more of your HE up their proverbial pocket up arses while they scramble to disengage. And because you have twist and track courtesy of Mr. Swersky, you know where they went to. Just pray to motherfucking god your team help, and don't get focused down like dogs chasing a fox. If that happens though, you could always steal the smoke screen for ultimate insult to injury. Your main goal would be to eliminate this torpedo spewing little bastards as quickly and efficiently as possible before they can pose bigger problems to your team, using your 360 degree rotating guns and your ability to change direction and dodge incoming fire while laughing in British. And yes, I know you're Polish, but you're really British. Deal with it. And you also have a 9% chance that fires as well, so that works. You can spank most destroyers pretty quickly in about 4 or 5 well-aimed salvos. Yeah, I mean, admittedly, you probably won't feel your full health destroyer during your radar burst, but you should get pretty close. And you do have to remember that you're not really a small girl, so you need to be wary of trading away too much damage too early, especially if your opponent is, say, a kid. With the destroyers out of the way, you can go about your business spotting the reds for your team while sneaking to cap circles that are uncontested, use islands and cover to harass and irritate the likes of battleships, and take opportunistic shots at distracted ones, preferably those whose guns are facing the opposite direction to you, for instance. And yes, you may have noticed I have not yet talked about torpedoes, because I don't really know what to say about them. They exist, I suppose, and they're more of an annoyance than actually useful as an offensive armament, except for catching beach destroyers and cruisers off guard. I guess they're useful in a pinch, but don't go expecting massive damage from them unless you stagger your single launch torpedoes and go about setting floods. I think exist is a polite way of describing the torpedoes. Maybe you guys can give me some tips on them, but yeah. And oh, before I forget, we have a secondary gun that actually I've managed to get a few hits with it, weirdly. Anyway, on to the strengths and weaknesses of Orkan. In the green corner we have fantastic, decently quick firing guns with 360 degrees of rotation, decent if not fantastic base concealment, radar on a destroyer, engine boost on a engine boost, a good hit point pool, good handling, and quick torpedoes with a good reload. In the red corner, pretty slow for a T6 destroyer, and while her torpedoes are less anemic than Benham's, they still do piss poor damage. She also has no smoke screen, a heal from PC got left on the balance department's desk, and she sits tall in the water, lots of surface area to shoot. On to my ratings for her. For ease of play, I will give her a 3. Having no smokes means that when shit goes south, it goes south really quickly. Fun factor, I've given her a 4. Making sure you shit themselves because of radar never gets old, as well as slapping them with salvo after salvo of HE. For effectiveness, I've given it a 3. While you're a master at dispatching small fry, the big boys will bully you. And for competitive, I've given it a 3. Solo, probably not much, but in a division with a smoke ship, God yes. And value for money, I've given it a 4. She's a fun, addictive and entertaining ship, if perhaps overly specialised to a fault. And now for my final thoughts. Orkan is a fun boat with a number of very strong points and some glaring weaknesses. Is it the best T6 gunboat? No. Kid still retains that crown, but I would say she's a very close second, and if she ever got her heal, she would definitely steal that crown. The 360-degree guns can make for intense close-range knife fights, while position and retargeting are crucial, but the torpedoes, while having solid range and speed, lack impact. She's a very good, very specialised boat that excels when the balance of power is on her side, but when the skills unexpectedly swing in favour of the red team, the struggle is real. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Orkan in a nutshell, with no punctuation. Almost. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please do leave a like and give a subscription below. And I shall catch you for my next video, which will be for Orkikov, who has some interesting new details come up today, but we'll talk about them in that video. Thank you for watching, take care, and bye for now.